All right, welcome to another episode of the Ridiculously Lame Wrestling Show. I am Robert Lentini, and we are going to be going over the November 27th episode of AEW Dynamite. The first episode of Dynamite following Full Gear. It needed to deliver. There were some very good moments on this show, also some head-scratching moments, as always, with AEW. But overall, it was an okay show. It wasn't the show they needed. It wasn't a bad show by any means. But there were some moments tonight where... again, the Jericho Ishii match, we'll go over that. There's just a couple things tonight that I wish were not on the show at all. But let's go over the show segment by segment, starting with the opening segment. It was November Rain again. They did a package about Full Gear. It was actually very well done with November Rain. That song is going to be stuck in my head until the end of the year. And then we go to the Hurt Syndicate. MVP, Shelton Benjamin, and Bobby Lashley come down to the ring. MVP boasts about Lashley's victory over Swerve Strickland at Full Gear and said, if I present you with a business card, I'm giving you an opportunity of a lifetime. It's a lottery ticket. You can either accept it and, become a member of the Hurt Syndicate or, deny it and end up like Swerve Strickland. They cut to an interview with Swerve Strickland backstage, too. And he's interrupted by Max Caster, of all people. Max Caster starts mocking Swerve Strickland for losing to Lashley and said that he's pinned Strickland before, and then Swerve Strickland beats the shit out of Max Caster. Anthony Bowen's nowhere to be found. Caster's just walking in the background of this interview and just laughing at Swerve Strickland. I guess that's Swerve Strickland's next feud. Max Caster, I have no idea. We'll see where that goes. The Continental Classic began tonight. It was Shelton Benjamin versus Mark Briscoe. I believe this was the Gold League. The winner gets 3 points, and the winner of the tournament is the Continental Champion. So it's Mark Briscoe versus Shelton Benjamin. Again, I've said this a few times now, but Shelton Benjamin, since he's come to AEW, is a new man. He looks phenomenal. He can still go. I don't understand how WWE couldn't find a spot for this guy to keep this guy on the roster. He's fantastic. He looks like a full-blown star. He doesn't look like just a member of the Hurt Syndicate. He looks like, 1B to Bobby Lashley. He looks phenomenal, and this match delivered. Mark Briscoe, I love Mark Briscoe, but he's not beating Shelton Benjamin, nor should he. This was a back-and-forth match. They didn't squash Briscoe by any means, but in the end, Shelton Benjamin picked up the win, as he should have. But again, Mark Briscoe's, former ROH champion. I saw a graphic that Mark Briscoe and the conglomeration are going to be facing Grizzled Young Vets and Pat Buck on ROH this week. I completely forgot the Grizzled Young Vets were in AEW. Like, they debuted at All In 2024 with the Young Bucks, I think. Holy shit, I completely forgot that they existed. I have to look at their match listing and how many matches they had in AEW before they went to ROH, but wow. That was record time. They left WWE due to creative differences. It looks like they made a huge mistake. Tony Schiavone interviewed Mercedes Moné tonight following her TBS championship victory over Chris Statlander at Full Gear. I thought that was one of, if not the match of the night at the pay-per-view on Saturday. It was fantastic. Schiavone noted that it was the longest women's match in AEW history, and some are calling it the best. And Mercedes Moné said, well, that sounds like Monet or Monet, whatever. I don't like her gimmick at all, and she's just, doing the CEO dance. But I will say she just had the best match of her AEW run so far at Full Gear, and they did the right thing, too, in this segment, because Mercedes Moné boasts about her victory over Chris Statlander, but then credits her, said it was one of the toughest matches of her career, but she's the greatest TBS champion of all time. She then goes to fire Kamille for not getting anything done. She's just about to fire her, but Kamille rips the microphone away and says, "You can't fire me, I quit." And so then she got a big pop for that. So that Kamille as Mercedes Moné's bodyguard was a huge fail. It accomplished nothing for Kamille whatsoever. Hopefully she can come out of this stronger somehow and just move on, but that was just a failed experiment. I don't know what they were trying to do, why that didn't work out. It was pretty easy to just have Kamille be the heavy for Mercedes Moné. I don't understand why that couldn't work out, but it didn't, and I'm glad Kamille is no longer with Moné because it just sucked. It was a terrible pairing. It should have worked, but I don't know why the hell it didn't. Get her away from Moné or have a feud and then separate them for a long time. And then we get to the worst match of the night, the worst part of the show, and it's not even close to me. I thought this was going to be bad. I did not expect it to be this bad. I did not expect it to go on for an eternity. And that is Chris Jericho defending his ROH championship against Tomohiro Ishii. This match, they were just out of breath and winded a few minutes in, and then it just kept going and going and going and chops, and somehow everybody's bleeding all of a sudden. I don't know how that happened. Brian Keith, the bounty hunter, has a potted plant, or he has a tree, a sapling tree, like Mitch the Potted Plant from back in the day with Dean Ambrose and Jericho's feud, that insane asylum match, or Ambrose asylum match, whatever that was called. But this match, I'm not even going to talk about it that much. It was just on and on and on, and Jericho couldn't put Ishii away, and then he battled back, but it wasn't exciting action. It was just plotting. It's just the combined age of these guys is 102 years old. This is I don't know why this is on Dynamite. No disrespect to Ishii or even Jericho, but I don't know why this is on Dynamite. I don't know why I need to watch this. I don't know why anybody needs to watch this. I don't know why it needed to go on for 15 minutes like it did. I don't know why I had to go through commercial break, but Jericho retained after 2 Judas effects. Just a bunch of stumbling around. It's just terrible. It's just a bad match. It's my opinion on that one. I thought it was the low light of the night. I could not believe how long it lasted. It was interminable. It was painful. It was ridiculous. And I'm glad it's over, and hopefully the feud is over, and whatever. Go Jericho to True TV with the Ring of Honor. Whatever, just get it off Dynamite, please. Then we get a confusing segment, just a very confusing segment. Hangman Page cuts a promo. He's said he always wanted to be AEW World Champion, and that's his only goal. He's obsessed with that. He's coming after that title. Jay White interrupts. He, makes his way to the ring, gets a big pop from the crowd as the Bang Bang Gang sign, and he's on his way to the ring when Pac of the Death Riders show up. He beats the shit out of Jay White for a bit before he battles back. Wheeler Yuta gets involved as well, and he attacks Hangman Page from behind with a chop block. White throws Wheeler Yuta out of the ring, hits Pac with a German suplex, or a snap German suplex. Then Hangman hits Jay White with a buckshot lariat. Marina Shafir comes in. She hits Hangman Page over the head with a briefcase. They keep us saying that they assume the AEW Championship is in there. She goes to hit Jay White. He sets up for a blade run, and the crowd's really excited to see that. John Moxley shows up and beats the shit out of Jay White for a bit. Then Marina Shafir, on her own, subdues Jay White. Just a weird visual to see Marina Shafir on her own just take down Jay White. I guess he was weakened from the Death Riders' attack, but it was still just... This guy just beat Hangman Page 2 pay-per-views in a row, and he's just flailing around in Marina Shafir's arms. I didn't like that visual at all for Jay White. And the Death Riders, they stand tall. My huge problem with this is my huge problem I had with the conglomeration not helping Orange Cassidy or Mark Briscoe back a few weeks back. Where the hell was the Gun Club? Where was Austin Gunn, Colton Gunn? Are they dead? Where's Juice Robinson? I don't understand why nobody came down to help Jay White here, but he's just left in the ring on his own. He's a hilarious pose, just dead in the ring. Maybe John Moxley versus Jay White. I mean, Jay White deserves it. He beat Hangman Page twice. Hangman Page doesn't deserve an AEW Championship match right now. Absolutely not. But John Moxley versus Jay White could be entertaining. I just hated how that visual of I'm fine with the Death Riders beating Jay White down and setting up a feud. I just hated that he was he looked weak. Another person who's looking weak in AEW, weaker and weaker in AEW by the week, is Ricochet. I can't believe he lost in the Continental Classic match tonight. He had a decent match with Claudio Castagnoli. Claudio Castagnoli with Ricochet is like a dream match because Claudio's the base. He's so powerful. Ricochet can do all his high-flying moves. It was a good match, but in the end, Claudio Castagnoli won with a lariat and picked up 3 points in the Blue or Gold League in the Continental Classic. Ricochet lost to Konosuke Takeshita in the International Championship match at Full Gear, in a match that was announced on Twitter, not during last week's Dynamite, which, whatever. Shows to me that you don't really care about that match, but that's just me. He's already faced Will Ospreay. He's lost his title match. He's losing to Claudio Castagnoli, who's not the AEW World Champion. He's not the main star of his own faction, even. It's Jon Moxley. So he's losing to, like, mid-card guys now. So he's a mid-card guy now in AEW. He debuted with all this fanfare at All In 2024 just a few months ago, 2 months ago, and he's 3 months ago, and now he's just a guy. So that was fast. That was really quick for Ricochet. I could see this coming from a mile away. Everybody could see this coming from a mile away. Even when's he going to be in Ring of Honor? Is he going to be a weekly fixture on Rampage? This sucks for Ricochet. He left WWE to better his career. It's still plenty of time. He's not winding down by any means, but he's already running uphill in AEW, and I don't think that was his vision when he left WWE for AEW. I could be wrong. Maybe he knew that he would never be a top player, but he's saying stuff like, I want to carry this company. Oh, you got a long way to go now. And we go to Adam Cole. He comes down to the ring with the Undisputed Kingdom. He wants MJF again. He can't wait to get his hands on MJF. Kyle O'Reilly shows up again. This was like the dead zone of the show. The Jericho, Jay White beatdown, and the Ricochet match, and this was like the dead zone of this show. This is just a tough watch for this 45 minutes or so here. Adam Cole comes down to the ring, Undisputed Kingdom with him. He wants another match against MJF. He can't wait to get his hands on him. Kyle O'Reilly shows up. O'Reilly is not a good promo. They keep having him cut promos. I don't get it. I don't know why. He's not like the worst in the world, but he has no inflection. He has no energy. It's just, Adam, I don't know what, Adam, come on. Come on, guy. Come on, man. Let's get some, juice. This rivalry, whatever this is, Kyle O'Reilly trying to talk sense into Adam Cole as his therapist every week is really, boring. It's not entertaining. It's not engaging at all, especially when you don't have any buzz behind Adam Cole right now. He's, it's just a bummer. So, Roderick Strong lost to MJF at Full Gear. So MJF's back to doing his vignettes. He's not in attendance now again. He's not there. So he's just doing these videos again. MJF shows up. He's playing the piano. He's playing his theme song on the piano like a jackass. And he says, I'm not interested in facing either of you because the Dynamite Diamond Ring Battle Royal is next week. And I'm more focused on that. So see you guys next week. And Adam Cole says, well, let me be the first to announce that I am entering the Dynamite Ring Battle Royal. And Kyle O'Reilly says, well, let me be the second. And that was that. So do you care about the Dynamite Diamond Ring? I'm not all that invested in it. It's a thing that AEW has, but it's just a battle royal every year, and it's not anything memorable. So hopefully something great happens with this, and they set up the MJF Adam Cole match and get it out of the way at World's End because they have to do it. They're going to do it. Let's get it out of the way so MJF, more importantly than Adam Cole, so MJF can move the hell on from this. I am so ready for this to end. It's not working. Adam Cole, they got to do a hard reset again. He just showed up. They got to figure out something to get some buzz going here because it was crickets when he and Kyle O'Reilly were cutting a promo tonight. It was painful. Jamie Hayter versus Queen Aminata, International Women's Cup qualifier match. Hayter won, obviously, after the match. Julia Hart looks like she's going to show up. The lights shut out. She's been interrupting Hayter for weeks, every backstage promo. That's not the case. She's not there tonight, just a tease of her showing up. The lights go out, but she's probably going to be returning at Winter is Coming. That's the next match in this International Cup qualifier tournament thing. Renee Paquette interviews Mina Shirakawa backstage during Mariah May's AEW Women's Championship celebration at Full Gear. May attacked Shirakawa with a wine bottle over the head, and then they tackled each other through a table off the entrance ramp. So she's interviewed tonight. She says, that's the real Mariah May. I saw this coming, and I'm ready to show everyone the real Mina Shirakawa. Mariah May then attacks from behind again, wine bottle or champagne bottle over the head, breaks, beats her down a little bit, stares at the camera. They will be facing for the AEW World Championship. Mariah May will be defending the title against Shirakawa at AEW Winter is Coming in a couple weeks. So looking forward to that match, I guess. I'm hoping Tony Storm's returning there too. Then we get to the main event, Darby Allin versus Brody King. We just saw this match recently, but this match delivered again. Darby Allin, every match, I'm just shocked that he's not dead when the bell rings. After, when it's over, I'm just shocked that he's still breathing. He had a ridiculous coffin drop outside the ring from the top rope to Brody King on the floor. Just an unbelievable drop, just splat right on the floor. You hit Brody King, but he also just back first, no protection, right on the floor. Insane. I don't know how he's walking around. I can't believe it. But this match was fun. Brody King and Darby Allin have great chemistry in the ring, and it was a different result this time because Darby went for a third coffin drop in the ring. Brody countered, got him into a choke. Darby tried to escape, but then Brody hit like a Samoan driver, a cross-legged pile driver to win the match. It was a cool-looking move. I think it's obviously his finisher. It looks devastating, and it was he won. He won 3 points. I was not expecting Brody King to win this match, but I should have been because Darby was all taped up because at the end of Full Gear after the show, he crashed his car into the Death Rider's car, and apparently that wasn't a stunt double. Of course, it was Darby Allin actually driving the car there. So he's selling the injuries from that. He was bleeding profusely after the actually literally having a car accident at Full Gear on purpose. But he did not win this match. He was selling those injuries, and Brody King capitalized. After the match, Claudio Castagnoli of the Death Riders goes to get in the ring with a steel chair. But Brody King stands in his way, almost like protecting Darby Allin. That was a cool moment. And they will be facing each other next week in the Continental Classic match. So that's great storytelling there. That's a great way to get me invested in next week's show to close this week's of Dynamite. You know, you have the stare down between Brody King and Claudio. Claudio wanted nothing to do with Brody King tonight. He just backed away, put the chair down and left. But we're getting to see those two guys next week, and that's going to be a hell of a match. I'm looking forward to that. There was a lot of great wrestling tonight on Dynamite, but there was also some just weird-ass moments, like the Marina Shafir and Jay White. The Jericho Ishii match just was a slog. Still recovering from it. And just the Ricochet Claudio match was fine, but just the reality that Ricochet is in this place already in AEW is just, it's shocking. I expected this to happen to Ricochet. I did not expect it to happen this quickly. But that is it for this week's Dynamite review. It was a good show coming off of Full Gear. Good enough show. It wasn't a great show. I don't think it's going to get a ton of buzz going, but hopefully they can do something special next week ahead of Winter is Coming to get everybody invested in tuning into that show in a couple weeks. But thank you so much, guys, for watching. We'll catch you guys on the next review. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Thank you for watching.